What's up, everybody? We have a special show today. The draft challenges, they do continue. We talk more about strategy. We got the Scott Fish Bowl, which I always say is the unofficial start of the fantasy football season. So now we got some normies in the best ball drafts, and I'm here to give them some lessons. We also have a special guest with us. It's going to be a fun show. It's a Swolecast here at RotoGrinders.com.
You came static from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand context.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I've put no research into this. Don't know if it's true at all.
You're on the right show.
To it, bro. Live a little.
Live a little.
Just live a little, guys.
What's up, everybody? We are live, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited because we have a special guest on the show. If you know the intro, if the outro, some of the special stuff, Pete's Overzet's overview, you know, we talk about our good friend Coakley. Rob Coakley from, he helps with Spike Week stuff, does a lot of their streams as well, and it is an integral part of this Swolecast show. And Rob is in right now the main event, the World Series of Poker main event there, live from Vegas. And so we're going to bring Rob on the show right now.
Rob, Spike Week, Dave. I am Spike Week, just so you know.
You are. You've kind of taken over. Now you are the face of Spike Week. It's like Bime for who? Like you are. You're the face. I'll say this: I have notifications turned on for you.
Me too.
On Twitter.
I have two notifications now: Dave and Rob. My only two notifications.
So I like. I'm not a poker guy. People see me and they see like the analytics side and they think I'm just like automatically a poker guy. I'm not. But I'm living vicariously through you.
It's been a crazy ride. We did not pack enough clothes to be out here this long. We did not book the hotel room long enough. My host hates me right now because I had to extend like 3 times. Finally, she was just like, we're just extending you through Friday. And so we had to go buy clothes. We had to extend the hotel. But yeah, man, it's a hell of an experience right now, is what I will say.
And to let people know, just real quick to set the table, Rob is sitting in 98th right now in the main event with 2.69, very nice, million chips here. And just to let people know what is at stake, it's 4 Corains, no, 6 Corains up top. 6 Corains up top. If there's one person here who is live to chase Corain successfully, it's this man, Rob Coakley.
It's beautiful.
We'll see, man. We got a good table draw too. So.
Is this your first time playing the main, or have you played it before?
This is my first time playing the main.
Wow. Did you see Sammy? Did you see Sammy out there?
I did not.
He was grinding. He bluffed his whole stack off like pretty close before the bubble. Classic.
Oh, tough seat. But I'm sure it'll be coming on a podcast near you soon, I'm sure. But Rob, you mentioned you didn't pack enough clothes. Does that mean you've been wearing the Swolecast shirt like at the table repeatedly?
No, we do not wear the Swolecast. Kitchen and Dan Bach did not take me up on my offer before the main event started. It was a generous offer. I said I would wear RotoGrinders merch for $50,000, and I got laughed off. And
really hope I want you to make a final table just so we could see like you wearing all of these badges. We got to get a Swolecast badge made up. You'll have your Spike Week badge. You'll have your Ghost Stories badge. I mean, you'll be a walking billboard. We need it.
The badge sponsorship money back in like peak ESPN days. I mean, that is putting kids through college now. DB doesn't even know that $50,000 would have been child's play in like 2007 on ESPN.
Yeah, if I make the final table, I will wear the Swolecast shirt for at least one orbit. How about that?
Let's go.
That's
Yes.
amazing. Yes.
Rob-
But I'm gonna go with the uniform. Right now it's V-neck, scally cap. That's what we've been doing for the whole main event right now.
Give us like the funnest hand you've played, or maybe your closest near bust experience or biggest double up. Like what's the hand that stands out so far?
Hands that stand out, winning a massive pot on day 3 with 10 high. That was fun. We raised button, had 9-10 of hearts, big blind called, flopped flush draw. We both fired pretty heavily, flop, turn, but it went check, check, river. He had 7-8 of hearts. I had 9-10 of hearts. And,
Oh, that's so
super
sick.
fun. Then I hadn't been at risk the entire tournament.
I was going to say, have you been all in yet?
I wasn't until yesterday, and then we were all in quite a bit yesterday. We had a squeeze spot happen where a guy middle position opened. He got called by 2 people. I was on the button with ace jack of spades, shipped it. Unfortunately, the original raiser did have it this time. He had ace king, and we got knocked down to 6 big blinds, and then doubled a few times, and I had to turn into Phil Hellmuth halfway through the day yesterday because my table was full of crushers, so we had to go like old school ABC poker with my stack size and stuff, but we got there somehow.
Have you been studying the push shove charts basically all night, or are you do you have access to a solver? Like, are you that deep into it?
I don't know how I would have time to do that when Sci-Fi is playing Fast and the Furious marathons. So
The man's got to pick his battles.
Rob, how conscious of you right now? Because the payout structure until you get to the top is like very flat here. Like, how conscious are you of the pay jumps from like 58K to 67K? Are you eyeing those? Or are you just like, it's all the same, I'm going to play the best fucking poker I can and we'll see how it goes?
Well, right now we have 67K locked up right now.
Yeah.
So the next pay jump isn't even until another 50 bust or something like that.
Okay.
So, like, pay jump at this point doesn't matter. So
yeah,
when we get close, we try to stay conscious, but they don't keep the numbers fully updated until we lose 9 people. So you don't always officially know.
Gotcha. Well, dude, I've loved sweating your posts. Keep them coming. Keep the videos coming. I know everyone in Best Ball Nation is rooting for you here. So I'm super stoked to watch it unfold.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go get a little bit more rest before this tournament starts.
Let's go, brother.
All right.
We're
Bring it
sweating
home.
you.
Later,
Good luck. Live a little. All right.
I would definitely advise someone playing for that much money to not just live. I mean, just imagine David. David playing poker. He's just like, he's the dude who fires 5x when he opens, just because you never know. You never know what cards you're gonna get.
Yeah, and this is why like I don't play poker because like my nature, I want to go all in all the time, and it's just donating. I'm in there for the social factor. Like, if guys are getting together, I just want to hang out with the guys and have a little community. But I will say that I have been. So I've got like a notification turned on for Rob, but I also have like the payout structure tab pinned in the browser. And like the payouts, they're starting to get to where, you start tightening up the old rectum as it starts getting higher and higher and higher.
Speaking of tightening up the rectum, we are already live in the second round of a draft. Soccer Dave has the Influencer 101, selected Justin Jefferson. How are we doing on, sharing the board?
Well, so I wanted to share the board, but I guess I could in a different tab. I had it opened in Firefox for the Spike Week tool that I have been living and dying by. But I guess I can do that in another tab, unless you have something open that you can.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed
share.
to be like where I get to finally have a break of not having my queue and everything telegraphed. So I do kind of enjoy the luxury of that.
I see. You want me to,
but I can if it's
I'm at the just to set things up for people. because this is going to be an action-packed show. People are going to have to stay with us. I've got the 1.1. Davis has the 1.12, so we're both on the wheel. And whose account is this?
Mine, Dave.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know if Davis is sharing his. And then Pete, you're on the 1.10.
I can't even log on to Underdog on Brave browser. It doesn't let me in, so I can't draft on desktop really.
I do just want to point out
draft on Brave browser.
You know, I'm ideologically committed to the Brave browser at this point.
you guys are all just so stubborn with it. It's just like, how about we just get up what works? You know, we're putting on a show here. Davis is out here battling ideological browser wars. Kitchen can't figure out his tech setup for the 19th straight week in a row.
No, I'm trying. I promise. I brought my own mic in. Do you know how embarrassing it is coming into a new office, carrying your own mic in to the office? I'm trying to fix whatever is the issue right now. All right, I'm on the clock. Just drafted Jacobs. I got Jefferson. Oh boy.
I need to go check and make sure
Kitchen and
is completing his prompt.
Yeah, to remind everyone, I gave Peter a mission, David gave me a mission, and Peter gave David a mission. So we have a three-way. The missions were not chosen by Sosa. They were chosen by your panelists to give to one another. And Dave's is, again, pretty stupid.
I also want to say, Dave, you're just now realizing, I just pieced it together. You are running so pure getting the 101 for the prompt I gave you.
Yeah.
It could have gone south
100%. If I was in Davis's spot, it would have been, if I was in the middle, it would have been rough. Because even Davis's spot, I could have gotten the first two rounds pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have said the first 4 or 5 spots would have been rough for you. And we'll leave that as a little Easter egg here. I think Kitchens will be fun to see if people can figure out.
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to figure mine out because Dave just went hyper niche again.
Davis, number one, take whatever is stuck up your butt out and just enjoy the challenge.
Dave, I'm eating
the challenge. If Pete gave you the challenge that he gave me, you would be
no, I would have said,
you're being emo, bro. Just because you can't draft by ADP, and you have to think outside the box. Poor little baby. You're going to be okay, Davis. I promise you, you're going to be fine.
Well, it's just more that I'm not convinced the strategy you gave me approximates game theory optimal play.
Okay, well, we can talk about that. But that's not this, I'm actually trying to help you out, Davis.
What if I need something up my butt to enjoy myself? David, have you thought about it?
All right, Davis, man. You go Lamar. Ooh, okay. All right. I think I know where you're going with this. And you're going Lamar and then Christian Watson.
Okay. Based on Davis,
I don't love that there. Nothing that I've done yet appeals to my mission in any way.
Okay. I will notice I took a rare Nick Chubb share, not a guy I normally click. I will let you decipher if that has to do with a challenge or not.
Okay.
Oh, dude. I did not set myself up well to execute this mission. This is gonna be close. We're having a tough time. Dave, how's your first week of our weight loss bet going, bud? What's sort of been your protocol?
Pretty good. I wasn't expecting weight loss with all of the stuff going on this week with fantasy. I wasn't expecting the weight loss talk on this show, but it's gone pretty good. Starting intermittent fasting.
Have you been recognized at Planet Fitness yet?
No, I haven't made it to Planet Fitness yet. I have made it to the pickleball courts a few times. So I will say this, Davis. You got owned on the creatine conversation when you said that I didn't
by you directly going against the scientific evidence of how much creatine you should be taking as a man who weighs more than 185 pounds?
No, because like what I said is accurate. Is that you can get 100 servings of creatine for less than a Best Ball Mania entry, and you said, "Oh, proof that David hasn't been taking creatine." And I have. And on the package, it literally says an average serving. Oh, shoot, I'm on the clock. An average serving. Oh,
Dave
Kitchen
getting his
actually needs to pay attention right now because he can mess up this prompt quickly.
No way.
Dave is getting his
Holy
supplements
cow.
from bulksupplements.com.
Alexander Madison at 48, huh?
Oh, yeah. What? Oh, that's 5 spots below ADP.
Hey, lock up that projectable volume, Dave.
Okay.
That's probably right
let's
where
see.
Silva's ranks have him.
No, Silva's got him like at 24.
Yeah, Silva had him so high, and Leone had to force him. to
Silva likes
capitulate.
the thing I've been tailing Silva on is Ty Chandler. He had him so high, so I've been
Well,
taking.
he had
Ty
both
Chandler.
of them high. If you haven't listened to the Man versus Machine pods with Leone and Silva going at
They're
it,
fun.
they're 3 parts and they're fun. It's a lot of capitulation though from Silva.
Silva capitulated before an opening argument. Before either of them. Who was the player? He did it. He just immediately waved the white flag.
Yeah, it was some rando running back, I believe. But because Silva like has to fit all of his guys in the top 150, and so it's very much a condensed thing. You know, it's not like a Best Ball Media thing. I would like to see Silva kind of stand up a little bit more for what he believes in. Like
Leone's just drunk with power. You know, you have that much sway over the best ball market. It would be hard. Like to beat like Leone, if you had to source it down to one person, he is the person who has the most input on where players are drafted in Best Ball Mania. It would be hard to not be drunk with power in that, I think.
Yeah, and he's gotten a little more cynical as far as I don't know, more villainy, I guess. But like, you know, at first he's kind of Silva, I think, intimidated him, and now he's like bullying Silva. Like imagine.
Well, the other thing is Leone used to be able to be like, you know, I've been this winning player for so long. My hyper analytical mathematical approach is what smashes everything. And then he watched Karain sky more his way to $2 million. And that's gotta be a little bit of a hit to the confidence too, I think.
Yeah. We need to get Leone on the show and Silva on the show. And Rob on the show.
I love doing shows with Leone.
Because I think I could take.
Why is this
I could take
taking
Leone.
Justin Herbert here? I mean, look at this start. Austin Eckler, fine, he has Austin Eckler. Jonathan Taylor, Mark Andrews, Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Herbert. Guzzler, I hope you get buried by this avalanche.
He's probably wanting to stack it with Quentin Johnson later.
No, I need Ayuk.
Ayuk's not falling to pick 60. Get out of here. He was already 8 picks past ADP, Davis.
Thanks.
Get out of here.
All right. Question for you guys. With the start of Scott Fishbowl season, we got like we said, the normies, a lot of people playing now. Your timeline is just full of SFB 13 teams. We talk about Scott Fishbowl every year. My question to you is, have you played any best ball contests on DraftKings this week?
You had me in the first half about SMP.
Yeah.
I have not. Although people keep tagging me about a promo I need to take advantage of, apparently.
There's promos every day.
3 free entries today.
Literally giving you 3 free entries today. They gave away a 50K entry to a 50K exclusive contest yesterday. They gave away a $5 ticket on Monday. They're doing like these giveaways. And the drafts, some of these draft rooms are so fishy. Like you go from underdog to DK right now, and it is crazy. I went like the wide receivers I took, like Tyreek lasted a pick 10 or 11.
Dave going full fantasy douche, talking about how good this team he drafted on DraftKings Best Ball was. Just so good.
Davis, if you remember, like Best Ball is one of the places that I made it to the championship. last
Can
year.
you just explain what the Scott Fishbowl setup had to do for the DraftKings punchline?
Because the normies are coming out.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
There are more. It's like we're starting to see with the unofficial start of the fantasy football season with these promotions. We're starting to see people come in. I was in a draft yesterday where 2 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round. Like that's not the average draft right now.
Nah,
And
dude,
so
they're probably gonna throw it out though. So
no,
it's such a bugaboo. Like no one, people in best ball discords love to say after one pick that's like 10 spots after ADP, they love to say, oh, well, why even try in this draft? It's going to get thrown out. Like just so it's the best.
okay.
Also,
as far as your Scott Fishbowl teams, how are they doing?
I mean, every year it's just so easy because people misunderstand the prompt so bad. I've never had a Scott Fishbowl team where I've been like, oh, everyone in my room really gets it. It's the same thing every year.
But isn't the point what Scott tries to accomplish with the scoring settings is making all the positions valued equally, so you can justify. Kitchen, I promise your prompt was not to onslaught the Vikings, despite you being upset that Jordan Addison didn't make it back. But I do know why you're upset, but it's just because you don't want to have to think through the prompt.
No, I want I want easy prompts.
That's what I mean. You don't want to do any more thinking, even though there's plenty of options. Basically, Kitchen has explored one avenue of the prompt.
No, I have not.
It doesn't
There's
want
only one avenue to explore here. If you just notice, I just took the Week 17 stack for Dallas and Detroit with Montgomery and Cooks. So there you go.
Kitchen is still on track. He is
I'm
7
still
for 7 on completing.
Still on track. Let me check Davis's team.
I'm trying to figure out why Davis was so upset about. Did you just want the value of Ayuk, or
no?
Was he part of the challenge?
Ayuk was hyper specific to he basically could have been done if I would have taken Ayuk. So I was tilting pretty hard.
I don't know if I.
Yeah, Davis's challenge is not bad at all.
It's not bad.
Complaining.
It's easily accomplishable. I just think it's stupid.
No one said missions were supposed to be like this heady, logical thing.
Yeah, Davis. What would be a good mission for you? Like if you could pick a mission that someone said, you get to pick your own gift. What would be a good gift for you?
Like a week 7, like at least 6 players from a week 17 game has to have at least elite quarterback or elite tight end in a hero running back build.
I am so torn right now because Dotson is better for my prompt. And yet I've been wanting to do a Pickens Deontay team because I do not have that. And I have to get it. I will figure out the prompt later. I will figure it out later.
Pete, did you max enter the Pomeranian, or do you love your daughter and your wife?
I love my daughter and my wife. I think I hopped in like 2 slow drafts and that was it.
Pete's all about the BBM. Like how many Dalmatians are you?
I've maxed all of the like mid ones, like the Chow and the Dalmatian. I did a Bulldog. Oh, hang on, I'm back on the clock. Interesting. How do we feel?
How many Poodle 3s are you in right now?
None. I haven't done a single one yet. Yeah.
It's a 50 max.
Let's do another Watson team.
Only
Watson and Nick
$350 to max. Maybe I do that one.
How many are you in, Kitchen? Have you been doing all these small ones?
I've just been doing everything, basically.
He's too busy grinding the weekly winners.
I'm doing a lot on DK right now, and then I'm still doing the weekly winners. And then I'm also doing a little like just some slow drafts and some things like the Puppy 3 or whatever it is, Poodle 3. The $7 draft.
If you just, I just want it out there that if you are doing the DraftKings best ball correctly, you can enter it. Like you could get max entry and get like $500 off. It's $1,500 to max. But if you are doing all the missions and getting the crowns back and everything, like it is a great tournament to max, I think.
Literally this one where today you enter, you pay $10 and they give you $10 in cash. It's like best ball laundering, basically. They give you $10 in DraftKings cash. Then you enter again, they give you another $10 up to 3 times.
Remember when Davis?
Basically 3 entries.
Davis gave us the free money one. What was it? A Rainmakers pack that you could just buy, flip for free money.
Yeah. That is essentially what's going on. Speaking, I got a tennis parlay I got to check on.
Oh my goodness! Did you bet Medvedev?
No, I bet owns Jabor, who was was an underdog for no reason. She just won, but I need to check and make sure Alcaraz won. He did.
Carlos.
Beautiful.
Carlos is the man. If you watch him,
big tennis guy. Good. Oh, it's you need an idol to inspire you when you're on the pickleball court, obviously.
There is a pickleball version of Carlos on the pickleball court.
Yeah, I believe it.
Kirk Cousins at 96 is great.
Dave, what's your Dave? What's your Scott Fishbowl team?
So I started the 1.1, which was a mistake.
Has someone figured out Dave's prompt yet? It should be fairly obvious at this point.
Davis should be able to get it.
Okay, wait.
Again, okay. If this was given to Davis, he would have just mom.
He's got to take one player at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end from one team.
No. Mm-mm.
The one thing
I want to keep doing this. Don't even acknowledge the chat. If the chat gets it right, don't even acknowledge it. We'll keep a record if anyone in the chat guesses it. But
one thing I will
want
say
Davis to see
that make Dave's prompts that I've given him hard the past 2 weeks is that every single pick has to intentionally fill the prompt. Whereas with some of ours, like if you're doing like a structure or something, it's like, oh, you can go 6 rounds and not worry about it and then start figuring it out. Dave has to think through his prompt at every single pick.
Correct. And it's not like you could have given me a lot easier on this. We can talk about it later, but you didn't. Like it's very specific. Anyways,
Guzzler is just here to tilt, taking Sky Moore ahead of ADP. He's here to tilt us.
We talked about the weight loss bet. Also, I've got a handful of guys. We're starting on Monday. Handful of guys.
Always start Monday. Never start today, right?
Well, I've already started today. I want these guys to just get in the right frame of mind, follow kind of what I've
what's your
set
routine like?
Them.
Are you counting calories? Are you just cutting out at no eating after 7? What's the vibe?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. So it's the Swole 60. You guys might have heard of it. It's a little easier than 75 hard, but still some challenges every week there, and just a lot of accountability. So that's the point is
accountable to what? What are the tenets
to each other
program?
To each other. Just there's some basic, and the program is still evolving, but starting off slow, gradually introducing people to intermittent fasting, walking an average of 10,000 steps a day, keeping your caloric intake a little bit less, and then working out at least 3 or 4 times a week.
Are we having people define what their caloric restriction is, or just going with God? You
can, like, there are tools out there. There are tools out there. Everyone's body is different, though. Like, like
Pat was saying that to me yesterday, and I thought that sounded like soft talk. Like, I could just accept that I have a gut, but like that feels weak to me. You know what I mean?
I have a bigger butt than you do.
Well, you definitely don't. There's definitely no way.
Can someone clip
true.
up Steve, I know you're on I know you're on vacation this week, but can you cut up all the butt references? We have Kitchen saying Rob's sphincter was tightening up. We have Davis in the butt play, and then Kitchen saying he has a bigger butt the day. Like, this is the butt show. It's the butt show, folks.
Weirdly enough, Dave's prompt. So I have begun to fulfill mine. Weirdly enough, Dave's prompt ended me up with a team that I actually really like. So I gotta hand it to him. It was not a great prompt, but I do like this team.
It is a good prompt. 100%. It is a good prompt.
Debatable.
Paul in the chat says you just don't know how many calories you need.
Dude, that would be such a Dave thing to be. There's no, all the science, all the math behind calorie counting. I mean, you just don't know. You just got to try stuff and see what happens.
But there's also a mental, Davis, you're missing like the mental aspect of this. Like the overall goal is just develop a routine. If you try to count macros every day for the rest of your life, you are setting yourself up for failure.
See, I set myself up for failure by being fat and just being like, well, I'm fat, so it doesn't matter. So when I go really hard into doing it, I basically just press the reset button and I get myself into a more reasonable place after I lose a bunch of weight.
And I do too. And I'm tired of that cycle, Davis, is what I'm saying.
You are making legitimate points right now, which is that if I knew that I was committing to counting macros and calories and being as hungry as I am right now every day for the rest of my life, I'd fuck it off and say it's just time to accept being obese. But I don't want to do that. So fair point.
Anyways, if you want to step into my DMs, feel free. We got a handful of guys. We're just going to be getting after it, basically. Swole 60 program coming to you. All right, Scott Fishbowl team. Let's go back there. Started with Patrick Mahomes. Immediate regrets, though. I am, of course, in the Dairy Queen Scott Fishbowl division. Every division, and for those that do not know, just setting the table. Scoring is crazy in the Scott Fishbowl. It changes every year. This year, there are no negative points like for fumbles, interceptions, incomplete passes, missed field goals.
Pretty big for the shitty quarterbacks. Pretty big for like the Jordan Loves of the world.
And you also get bonuses for completions, carries. Tight ends get an extra point, a full extra point. And so there's a lot of ways that you can go with your team. Immediate regret by me is choosing the 1.1 for the bit.
Why? Explain to me how that's a bit.
Well, I wanted like Dairy Queen. I wanted the first overall pick in the Dairy Queen division. I think the sweet spot was the fourth spot. And
no, the third spot. So you could get the best third round reversal pick, but also get one of the elite quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, how many elite quarterbacks are you?
Three. There's three elite quarterbacks.
Yeah. So maybe three. But then there's also Kelsey. Kelsey's the other one who is being drafted really high because of his value last year, what it would be this year because of the whole extra bonuses.
Tight ends. Like if Travis Kelsey catches a 9-yard pass for a first down, that is like 4.4 points. Like it's the tight ends. The tight ends can rack up the points like so fast. Is it more than 4.4? It's 1.5 for a catch and 1.5, or is it 2.5 for a first down for a tight end? It's a lot. That's all I know. It's a lot.
Yeah. So coming back again, and there's a third round reversal. Coming back, most of the quarterbacks were off the board, so I got Diggs. And then when it came back to me, I got Geno. So my quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes and Geno. You can go to the Scott Fishbowl tool that ADHD does, spikeweek.com/SFB. And there's a feature that you can see who selected a certain player. And I'd like to bring up something. A lot of people in our little group are selecting someone that I caught so much flack for about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And Peter Overzet is one of those people.
I've
You
made
know,
like
people-
5 picks.
Yeah. Who's your quarterback?
Deshaun Watson. I just drafted him on this stream too.
Exactly. Everybody is drafting Deshaun Watson after throwing up their hands. It's
Well,
like you have
can
to
I
have
tell
a
you
period
that-
of 4 weeks saying I'm not drafting Deshaun Watson, and then you go
Listen,
in.
I'll say this about Deshaun Watson and Scott Fishbowl. I had the 112. The best available quarterback for me when I picked 12th was Deshaun Watson. I did not select him. I selected Cooper Kupp and Christian McCaffrey. And then Deshaun Watson stayed as the top quarterback on the board by my next pick. And Dave, you know me, I'm just a slave to ADP value, regardless of the site, the scoring format. And so I begrudgingly took him, knowing that he does have the kitchen stamp of approval, which means he's going to be a league winner.
I do have a lot of Deshaun Watson on my best ball teams. Like how much Pete, I noticed on one of your streams the other night. Oh shoot, I'm up. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm checking.
Oh boy. No. Oh gosh, this is bad.
Dave's prompt.
Gosh. Okay.
He
I
took
might have gotten
Higbee.
there. Boy.
Tyler Algier.
Man.
Dave's prompt.
Dave's still clean. 13 for
He was,
13.
he was sweating out Tyler Algier. They play the Bears in week 17.
Dave's prompt was to take 2 Tylers at the 12-13 turn. Congratulations.
Wow, double
Dave.
Tylers. I don't
If it helps at all, Davis, one of the choices I had was either Everett or Higbee as my tight end too, if that helps at all.
Mm.
So anyways, where were we on the Deshaun
You were
Watson
shaming
talk?
you. Kitchen.
I wasn't shaming you. I
but
just
I
felt like it was a
never-
little bit hypocritical. That's
But
it.
see, you can roll
You,
back the tape.
Karain, Silva, Leone. It seems like everybody's got Deshaun Watson as their QBs, and you guys just going
But
with it.
Kitchen, when you drafted him, I didn't say it was a bad pick. I said it was a problematic pick, and you were tying your brand to a problematic selection. That was my
well,
thing.
you were awful silent about your Deshaun Watson pick in
Yeah,
Scott
I
Fishbowl.
Well, look, if
You know
there's
what?
going to be a
I'm not-
league, if there's going to be a league where you can,
I didn't see any tweets from Pete saying,
Yeah, no
oh,
screenshots. Deshaun Watson, 10 picks past ADP. Let's go.
oh gosh. Pete, I did notice though on your stream, I forget what stream it was. Sometimes I've been doing either work in the house or work in the yard, and I'll just put on one of Pete's draft streams just for a laugh. You're saying you have like hardly any early QBs, like elite QBs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that will change at all?
I mean,
Or do you think it's like identifying Deshaun Watson as like this year's elite QB?
Don't bring this back to Deshaun Watson. I am going to be light on the elite QBs in general. I realized I had no Mahomes Kelsey when I did my portfolio review the other day. So I did one of those on Monday stream. I'll mix it in a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to be underweight the elite quarterbacks. I want to push and get a little bit more of like the mid-tier elites. So the Lamars, I need more Herbert. I'm starting to feel a little FOMO on Herbert. He's a guy I want to get a bit, boosting up my Watson a bit. So yeah, that is an objective for me right now.
Davis, after your portfolio review, what are you kind of correcting?
I am not really correcting anything. I mean, I also have
Just
40
ADP, just from here on out. Whatever the ADP is, that's how
No,
you're
I
drafting.
just feel good about the players that I've drafted. Like I look at my exposures and they all look right to me. Like my most owned running backs, all love them. I've got a lot of Rashee Rice, much more than I anticipated, but that's I think sort of fine at his cost. Taysom Hill is my most drafted tight end. Got a shit ton of Kyle Pitts. Like looking at it, I'm all like, yeah, that's what I want.
Who are you going consistently 10 to 12 spots above ADP to get?
a
Well,
good
here I
one.
can tell you. I'm consistently going ahead on Pollard. I'm consistently going ahead on Purdy. I'm consistently going ahead on Lockett and Tutu Atwell, Ty
Ew.
Chandler.
Tutu Atwell is not really that's not really consistent because he's going undrafted. That's just a late round guy.
Michael
Why
Gallup,
Tutu over Puka?
because Tutu's already been in the NFL and he's McCole Hardman. He's the Rams McCole Hardman. Like maybe he's got no like true crazy breakouts, but he could be Tyquan Thornton this year. He could be the week 17 guy who scores 14 and ends up in the winning
Puka
lineup.
could be as well. He could be. We just
like
don't know.
like 6th round wide receivers. I don't know. It just seems like what's the point? Like Atwell is as like he's locked in. Like we know exactly the role he's going to play. He's going to be the punt returner. He's going to be active on game days.
I will say right now, like the prompt Davis gave me was like what I would call a very reasonable prompt. And yet in this room and how things have fallen, it's gotten a little tricky for me. I
consider it fulfilled. I consider it. I gave you an extra detail and I consider you doing a good faith.
Well, there's still one more
fulfill.
element of it that I haven't fulfilled. I've fulfilled the first half. The second half isn't fulfilled yet.
Dave's prompt hinges on the Raiders and the Vikings in some degree. I just don't know why. The Raiders play the Vikings in like week 15 or something.
No, I would say every pick of mine has been very specific. Except for
what did you just do? Renfro and who? Zeke. Oh, now this one, Kitchen. He's not on the team. Are you skirting the prompt?
No. I've got. I'm just. We don't know. We just don't.
Has the chat gotten Dave's team? Because I don't have a guess really.
No.
The chat has gotten Dave's earlier.
Oh, it has.
Yeah,
I didn't see
two
it.
people guessed it, but we said we weren't going to reveal it.
Okay.
Well, they can if they get it, they can reveal it because I don't have a guess. I really don't.
How about let's do it. I'll see if I can do a hint. Dave, are you putting Zeke on a specific team, and which team are you putting him on when you select him there?
Yeah, this is with him going back to the Cowboys. He could also go to the Vikings though.
What if he signed with the Falcons or even like the Colts, maybe even the Saints?
Yeah, the Saints, with the Kamara incident, they might need one. Who knows? Though?
Is it everyone in week 17 has to be in a dome?
Close.
Not just week 17.
Multiple dome games in the playoffs.
Their home stadium has to be a dome. Was my challenge.
Okay. All right.
See,
that's a great one for me because I like basically my tiebreaker.
It would not be a great one for you, David, because you would have to draft guys like consistently around or two above ADP. Like, like taking a look at my team, there was some time where you're drafting like you got 10 teams, and if one of those guys are not in that that range, you're gonna have to reach on somebody. So Jacoby Myers at 97, like what's he reach, like 120, 110? Renfro, I will say though, as Pete said, getting the 1.1 in this draft was very easy with Jefferson and then Jacobs and then Mike Williams, who was a reach. I mean, Mike Williams at 25 is a big reach. So
did something happen to Devin Singletary? I don't even necessarily love him with this build, but he's falling 30 picks past ADP.
He's a running back for the Texans.
I kind of like Devin Singletary. I mean, I like Pierce too.
I like Singletary, but I don't like him necessarily on like builds where I'm really strong at running back. Like I like him more in zero RB builds.
Yeah, he's better on a zero
but
RB build.
I'm just not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here and value hound this.
Dave?
Yeah.
Are you in or out on Devontae Adams? Do you like Devontae Adams? Do you think he's a value?
I'm in.
Okay. I need someone to explain to me how we have logic. I just was looking at my teams and I'm like, I just really should never be taking Amon-Ra St. Brown or Garrett Wilson over Devontae Adams. It just really doesn't make any sense.
Because of spike weeks or what?
He's just better. I mean, he just is a
Well, the
top
thing
5
with
wide
Devontae
receiver
Adams-
every year.
Well, Devontae Adams, like the big question mark is like quarterback.
Yeah, but he had a
No.
30-point game last year with Jarrett Stidham. Like I just don't think it matters. So
Yeah.
speaking of things we're wanting to correct in our exposure, I basically am just I'm gonna pretty much draw that line off. Like I am taking Devontae Adams when he is available.
I've got a
Especially-
bunch of Devontae Adams. I think I did like 10 drafts yesterday, and like 9 out of 10 were either in the 11 or 12 spot, and it just tilted me so bad.
Have you guys been noticing Bijan falling a lot? You can get Bijan
Yeah.
in the second round a lot. Like that.
I got him
feels
at pick
wild.
16 this morning with Pat.
Like on a
You're-
half-point PPR site. You just
People
I
do
mean,
Underdog Underdog is half-point PPR.
They literally like you joke, but they do literally forget. I think people do actually forget. It's half-point PPR. There's no bonuses, like touchdowns. This is like playing on FanDuel in 2016. Like just get touchdowns.
To your point, Davis, I am surprised. Like guys like Barkley falling or whatever don't surprise me, but people love rookies, and Bijan
People love
is a
rookies.
generational rookie. I am surprised that he's just not like locked and loaded at 1-6 in every draft.
I
Like,
guess he
how-
doesn't
yeah.
have a good Week 17 game. Do we think that matters at all?
I feel like with the early running backs, people don't think about Week 17 correlations as much.
Yeah.
I don't-
They
I-
probably
it-
shouldn't.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm with you. To me, not. I am just confused why the market doesn't like it. I'm not even saying he should be going there. I'm just saying traditionally he would be the type of player everyone would be like win.
Like I don't even think I'm like a Bijan stan, and I've got 12% of him, just because he is so frequently there at the top of the queue.
Yeah.
Only 11% Derrick Henry. I got to fix that. It's time to
You
big
want more?
Well, the problem is that I take Pollard over him every single time.
And again, if you are at the end of the first round, you have like 0 shot.
Yeah.
Kitchen. So I love that we got Kirk,
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, and Jimmy G.
Yeah. I have very little Kyler.
Mm.
And after doing a deep dive, thanks to Scott Fishbowl, he's my QB3 in the Scott Fishbowl. He fell way too low. And I have to convince myself of like, there are certain narratives around Kyler. Like if you look at where he's finished every year, it's like QB5 or above. And so I get it. I get that they might slow roll him out there, but he
Well, the
could
concern,
have
the concern is that he just might not play at all.
right. I mean, that's a big concern, but like
you just don't.
I got him in
know.
the 17th round. Like
Sure.
that's,
You know what? Kitchen, I did the randomizer. I don't know if you watched it with Jason Moore from the Footballers, but I asked him about Kyler, and he was emphatic. He was like, there is no shutdown risk for Kyler. Once Kyler's healthy and out on the field, he's like, he is not getting shut down. Like he
Well,
was.
don't they have a
so
new
emphatic
GM?
about- Yes.
I think these new GMs, because the Titans are kind of facing a similar situation where these new GMs, they know that the right move is probably to tank, but you don't want to like be really bad to tank
Well,
for that spot.
they also have an out, which is that the Texans might also be the number 1 overall pick, and that is a huge out for them.
yes, because of the trade last year.
I don't really know what is mathematically correct with these last 2 picks, and I'm feeling stung.
Do you have any sort of guess to Davis's prompt, Pete?
My prompt is too hard.
I saw someone in the
really
chat saying it like
not.
involves stacking up week 16. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. What was the exact prompt? How many week 16 stacks did you need?
It was, let's see here. Dave said game stack week 16 must include 1 quarterback. Try to include both as possible with a 0 running back build. So I did the 0 running back build. I guess hero running back with Bijan as my first overall pick. And then the week 16 games.
0 RP at all.
It worked out. So it worked out for me because the Raiders and the Colts play each other in week 17, but the Colts and the Falcons play each other. So Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce and Kyle Pitts. And then the Raiders play the Chiefs. And that was why I wanted Ayuk and Elijah Mitchell, because the Ravens play the 49ers in week 16. And you took both of them from me.
Well, and here is why I gave.
Oh, and the Packers and the Panthers play each other in week 16. So Chuba Hubbard with Christian Watson as well.
Yeah, and here's why I gave you this prompt is because this is the lineup construction that I used last year to make it to the DraftKings Best Ball Championship. If you recall,
Dave, did you
week
even
16,
make money on Best Ball last year?
Yes. Like
Did
multiples. Yes. Davis.
Multiples.
Yes.
Of what denomination?
Who cares
How
what
many?
the
How many?
denomination is?
How many Cranes? How many Cranes?
Multiple Sacagaweas.
I mean, I enter like only 50 contests. I think I've already entered 50 contests already this year. But I think it was like $2,000, $2 or $3,000 off of that team. And so, anyways, that's what I did. Is I looked at that week 16 game, and it was Dallas and Philadelphia. And Hurts wasn't even the QB1. He didn't even count as the quarterback because Prescott outscored him. No, he did play. He didn't play week 17. He did play week 16 though.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I remember
Davis
Minshew playing in that game.
No, he played it was week 17. There's 18 weeks now, Davis. And so the big concern was that week 17.
Hurts did not play against Dallas. He was inactive for that game. It was Minshew.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Gardner Minshew, 40 pass attempts, 355 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devonta Smith, 8 for 113 and 2. But you just never know.
You don't know. Yeah.
You don't know.
Did anyone figure out my prompt?
Trying to stack that game.
I feel like
I'm on the clock right here.
I feel like yours
Hold
is pretty
on.
guessable.
Has the chat guessed it at all? So,
No. Kitchen, did you
went
make
3?
your last pick?
Well, I've got someone in the queue, Joshua Kelly. So you went.
I will. So my team, and see if the chat now you can see it up here. Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy. You can note Pickett and Purdy both ahead of ADP. Nick Chubb, Breece Hall, Rashad Penny, Elijah Mitchell, Devin Singletary at running back. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, Brandon Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Jonathan Mingo, Curtis Samuel. Tight end, David Njoku, Hayden Hurst, Noah Fant. Any guesses from the peanut gallery?
So you went. You went Chubb. You say you normally don't go Chubb. And you also you did not. Well, you did stack. So was it to have a? Boy, I don't know. Was it to have
Davis? You want to give people any clues?
Yeah, I mean, it had the quarterbacks are the quarterbacks are the key here. Both the quarterbacks, their ADP, but the quarterbacks were the central part of the prompt. The first.
Is it like comeback player of the year? Like I don't know. Like
if Deshaun Watson wins comeback player of the year, that might be enough for me to stop with the NFL to just be over it.
Davis basically gave me the prompt that I end up doing at every draft, which is a 3 quarterback build with each QB at least skinny stacked with teammate and at least 2 total bringbacks. And so we have Deshaun Watson with Chubb and Njoku, Breece Hall on the comeback.
Breece Hall is a comeback. Got it.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett, double stack with Johnson and Pickens. Noah
San
Fant,
Francisco with Curtis. Got it.
With Mitchell and Ayuk and Curtis. So I went for I got extra credit, Davis. Bring back for all 3 of them for you.
Wow.
So it's basically three quarterback stacks with bring back. That's just like a regular build.
A regular draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
But I had a blast doing it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you give me can only draft from State Farm Stadium, a certain Mercedes-Benz Stadium, SoFi Stadium.
The exact one, and I know we've figured it out, but you can only draft players who play home games in a dome. So you have Cardinals, Falcons, Cowboys, Lions, Texans, Colts, Raiders, Chargers, Rams, Vikings, Saints. That is enough of the board to draft a really good team. However, if you had gotten the 102, Dave, who would you have taken? Because that was the most interesting spot.
Yeah, like I mean, I would have to take like CeeDee Lamb, or Devontae.
That's why you getting Justin Jefferson at the 101 to disguise your prompt there was some nice run.
Does SoFi not count as a dome? I guess
No,
not.
they
It's
do.
got turf. Well, then he'd just take Cooper Kupp.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Who did actually?
Who did go to? Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. All right. We got 5 minutes left in this. Do you want to talk about your Scott Fishbowl team, Peter?
I actually am on the clock right now. Does the chat want to help me crowdsource
Yes.
this here? All right. I just shared my screen here. If you want to pull this up. So my team so far, the very controversial Deshaun Watson pick, I might need to catch up at quarter. So I went CMC, Cooper Kupp, then Watson, and then I just alphaed it in with Kittle and Pitts. And trust me, I know the scoring system devalues the more boom bust tight ends, whatever. I wanted to take Kittle and Pitts. Let me live a little. So then looking at the board here, I could do Stafford to stack up with Kupp.
I think you have to do that.
I think so too. The only other thing that would be kind of fun is like Jordan Love and Christian Watson. A little double tap there.
There is no. I mean, how many times this year, if you knew that Stafford and Kupp were going to stay healthy, how many times this year do you think they combined for like 50 points? Like a lot of the time.
Yeah. I know. I should definitely take Stafford.
Yeah, I'll take Stafford there. What's his
Kitchen,
average ADP?
Stafford's ADP
who cares,
is
right?
69.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not that bad. Can you go to the My Team button and then go to JJ's team? Did you see this?
Sure. I haven't. Or it's
late round.
Look at his team. Look at
Jefferson and Chase. Jesus Christ.
Jefferson, Chase, Diggs, Adams. And then
he must
still
be
gets
drafting
Rodgers
with the
and
high
Goff.
T. He must be drafting with the high T contingent.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'm a little worried about his running backs. Yeah, a little worried about him.
I made a pick Peter would hate. I think I took Aaron Jones at the 6-3. Peter's
Can
just
you pull up Davis's team since you're sharing the screen?
I mean, I got the two players that I thought were absolutely mandatory in this format. I got Mahomes and Richardson. That was all I wanted to leave this experience with, and I got them. So that'll be fun for me this year.
I also made the mistake of not reaching on either Lockett or Jackson and Jigba, and so I've got unstacked Geno.
Have fun staying poor and not donating to charity.
So
let's look at yours, Kitchen.
Did you get the big dog? Is the big dog a member of the squad?
No, because he was already taken.
Wow, you're
already
12 rounds.
12 rounds.
Goodness.
I love.
Wow,
Kitchen
you and Davis,
taking...
are you guys duping each other? Debo and Aaron Jones?
I would just like to know that Davis is probably looking at my team before he drafts his, since I am.
I want it on the record that Kitchen took two guys who are not going to play for. Like, by the time David is done checking this league, they're going to have played no games in Kyler Murray and Jameson Williams.
How about Dave? So Kitchen got Debo at 601, and let's see where Davis got him.
I think I took him in the 5th round.
5-10. Okay, it's basically the same. Yeah. So you
guys
had the same 5-6 turn.
Yeah, and Davis copied with Mahomes. So
David, every year my strategy, like where I pick my draft slot, is because I want to get Patrick Mahomes. That's what I do every year in this.
Well, league. If you would have, then you would have done the 1.01, so you would have made sure to get him. Thank you, Kev Wheeler.
Because people love this Josh Allen guy.
Yeah, and Hurts, but that's the thing. Like, there's no like consistent ADP with these guys. It's just all over, and a lot of people are drafting Kelsey #1 overall. So That's
Who do you guys
that's what
think I
makes
should
it.
do? Who do you guys
We
think
already
I
said
should do with my
Stafford.
second pick? No, I said with my second. I have back-to-back picks here. I'm going to do Stafford with one. Who should I do with my other pick?
Davis says that Cam Akers is this year's Josh Jacobs, and you do get a quarter point for every carry. And if he's the only guy that you're doing, then just double tap the Rams right there.
How many quarterbacks are you guys planning to end up with?
3. Like my league's already tapped out at 3. Like if I do get someone, it's gonna be like a back.
I'm gonna take Bailey Zappi, and just write it.
I might take like Malik Willis.
Oh, actually, I
With
probably
the
might take.
20th.
Honestly, I might take Purdy. Purdy feels like you just take advantage of that little bit of uncertainty. Feels good.
Yeah, the thing is, drafting at the 1.1 or even at the 1.12, like it takes so long for it to come back, and so not like you can get bit by not drafting a quarterback. One of the guys in our league.
Maybe I'll do Stafford and Ayuk and then try to get Purdy to build out the Omega with CMC, Ayuk, Kittle, and round it out with Purdy.
You have to also think about it like this, Pete. This is not a best ball draft.
Thank you.
And so you aren't like saying like the what if, like you are trying to solidify your roster. Like you're not trying to
draft your starting lineup. You know?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Kitchen.
Good
and then
advice,
after that, then you start looking at, who can help your team.
Well,
so
I guess you could
a third QB stack is not supposed to help you out in order to win the Scott Fish Bowl is what I'm saying.
The amount of management I'm going to do on this team, it might actually look like a best ball roster.
Yeah.
So I might need to build in some resiliency that way, Dave.
Fair enough. Final thoughts, Davis?
Thanks to Dave for another great prompts that requires rote memorization of the NFL schedule. I can't wait to be doing a cardio club tomorrow and be confused and think that the Colts play the Falcons. Be like, oh, I gotta take.
You should, Davis. You should have some Week 16 builds in your 150. 100%. You should.
Nah, I'm not sweating it.
Unless you just like being on the bleachers.
Well, Dave, here's the thing. It's all well and good
bleachers.
to talk about teams that you get through to the finals, but none of it matters. Literally, the only thing that matters is chasing Crane.
It's in my bio, not in your bio. So, all right, Pete.
You want me to put that I made 3 finals teams last year? My Pomeranian finals teams were so awesome.
Yeah, I dare you to put Pomeranian finalist.
I won't because no one cares.
They don't care about the Pomeranian. Okay,
it's literally the same exercise.
I just want to say another good luck to the Swolecast very own Rob Coakley. I do think we co-opt him as our very own and make sure he's wearing a giant Swolecast badge at the final table when he makes it there. So everyone send good wishes to Rob. And I'm just feeling fortunate and blessed to have had a front row seat to the butt episode of the Swolecast.
The butt cast.
All right. From the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thanks to everyone that watched with us, and we appreciate you. And make no buts about it. We love you. Like, subscribe, or we're coming to get that ass. We'll talk to you later. This is the Swolecast here on RotoGrinders.com. Peace.